Alrighty guys, in this video, let's take a look at our bulls still in control on the memory stock. So we'll take a look at Micron, Sandisk, SK Hynix, Seagate, and definitely also the chip stocks, Nvidia, AMD, ARM, Intel, Broadcom, Marvell, Cerebras, TSM, how they all are doing. Because it's important to, before going into the weekend, you at least need to have some inclination that how should you be managing your position before the weekend start, because if things are not in your interest on the bullish side, you definitely should be risk managing before going into the weekend so that you don't put yourself in the harm's way of unknowns that may happen over the weekend and then Monday. All right, so let's jump right into it. Once I also let you know, none of this any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Micron, let's start off there. Now, Micron, I have been telling you, is in the bottom formation process, and the price action right now, even though you are not seeing a push to the upside, however, you cannot short this thing. We are still here in the formation of bottom. These things takes time and you gotta be patient. All right, so let's get to the hourly interval. Hourly interval today, yes, it is still going a little bit sideways. Still constantly holding above 830, that yellow zone area. And thus, there is nothing too much to worry on this thing. Yes, our sentiment is still to the upside on Micron. Excuse me. If you're a trend line person, there is a reference line for you that it has been holding here on the hourly interval. But don't make your decision based off of the trend line. They are more of a reference line. At least it gives you that, okay, is support is holding with the support of the zone. Now, previously I have also told you that even if we come down to the zone of between 770 to 830, this zone, there is a between green and the yellow zone, will still be fine, and that still remains the case. The only issue that may happen, and if that's what Micron starts to do, get closer to 830 and closes lower here, it will trigger some multi-day weakness starting next week, and then we'll have to see how it reacts at the green zone. But the point is that losing 830 may trigger some little bit of a cool off, even though I don't expect there is much downside left. We will eventually get bought up. It's just that this is where at least you will de-risk yourself a little bit below 830. If as also you don't want to go with the risk over the weekend, okay? But until there, everything is still fine. Right now, we are still fine on Micron, not seeing too much of a problem. All right, but anyhow, as if we lose certain zones, risk management has to be done. But so far, so good. All right, this week, I just wanted to see the stabilization, as I have told you previously. This week, I just wanted to see the stabilization in the price action. So far, I'm seeing that. Now, Sandisk also still rejecting though at 1300 area, but we are above 1130. Now, as I have told you previously as well, there is not much room left to the downside in my opinion on Sandisk. Okay, this is today a day of a sell-off. Excuse me. And however, we are still above this zone. So even though the push will take time, you want to see a stabilization in this area. It's still fine in the long-term perspective. All right, but we are in the multi-day weakness that is below like 1300 and so forth. Above that, all good, but long term also, I really don't see that you should, if you are trading Sandisk as a long-term position, you shouldn't be too much worried here. You can a little bit manage the risk if we lose 1130 down here, but then also just know there's not, I don't think there's much downside left on Sandisk. But please also note, I'm calling this out a little bit early also. There are higher probability, but this higher probability will become much more higher as we gain and start to close again above those zones, 1300 and so forth. Okay, so accordingly, this is the place where you would have, let's say, 50% of your planned position and 100% above this when we start a breakout and a confirmation. So this week, a bottom formation is and stabilization is what I wanted to see in these zones. I'm seeing that. It doesn't mean it can't negate the thesis, it can, but that's the thing. those are the zones where we'll do the risk management. Those are the zones we will size down the position and whatnot. But so far for me, Sandisk is also looking good. SK Hynix, I would say, is a little bit much more on the weaker side, but it hasn't negated my bottom thesis yet. Now, this is pretty much the scenario is what I'm telling you on Micron and Sandisk as well. As if we start a little bit lose these zones, you can risk manage it going into the weekend. If you want to, if you cannot tolerate some uncertainty and opening in the weakness below these zones like 136 on SK Hynix. But let's get to the SK Hynix on the Korean side. And if I look at the price action there, yes, it has a room to still come down to do double test, make a double bottom for us or something. And I do think that it's gonna stabilize here. Yes, I have been talking this for a week now, right? This whole week I kept telling you, starting end of the last week, that we are seeing a sign of a bottom. And yes, that's still the case. It doesn't mean that one day I'll say bottom and the next day market has to shoot up. No, bottom formation takes time. And so is the top formation takes time. These things don't turn around in a single day. So as long as, but where's the higher probability? There is no higher probability left on the short side. You cannot short this thing now. Short was here when I told you. But unfortunately, many of you were buying. Many of you were like telling me that, oh, it didn't work out. What didn't work out? It worked out short, great. This is where I told you to get out. And you were like, you're gonna buy. Some of you were just buying this thing. You were like going all in here. Now, crickets, nowhere to be seen, right? Must have lost the account, right? Blew up the account, lost the shirt, right? And now many of them would be shorting here. No, this is not the place. Your probabilities are not there to short it. So the point is that eventually it still has high likelihood of forming a bottom here. These theses can be negated, but where are the higher probabilities is what we are trading with, okay? But I'm giving you the zones for risk management if any thesis has to be negated. But right now we are still in the thesis of bottom formation, and I'm not seeing a negation of that yet. Seagate just doing what I told you, expect sideways action, and then mostly gonna stabilize in this area, but expect sideways and then slow crawl up. But yeah, it's just doing that what I told you, sideways, right? So let's get to now Nvidia. Now Nvidia here is technically just fine, right? I told you about this move will start for the longevity 204. We have been just doing that. And we are extended, pullback may happen anytime. Right now I'm not seeing a sign of a pullback either, but until even 213 we will be just fine. That's our new ongoing trailing support area. Overall structure until there will be fine. Let's get to the hourly interval. Yep, multi-day weakness is also not triggering. It's holding the zones, all good, still good. And yep, you can definitely size down some position if you like in these extensions, but it is still bullish. Okay, AMD, guys, AMD is still rejecting at that $500. All right, not gaining above it, not going above it, and thus it is still technically in the negative side. But again, like if you are shorting it, you whatever you do have a stop loss above $500. But just so you know that sometimes it's just worth to not short a company, because it's a company that may linger around here. Okay, but anyways, those decisions are yours. The point is that price action is in the weakness. Definitely it's not like a bullish momentum buy here. It's not, right? So sometimes some stocks needs to be left alone. All right, but 500 below we are in the negative direction. Only above 500 things will start to improve on this thing. ARM reacting and rejecting at the zone that I gave you, right? I told you, yes, I told you this is where we are bullish. Let's backtrack a little bit more. I told you from here on we are bearish. I told you we'll see a bounce here and a rejection here. We'll test again down here. We did all of that, and here I told you bullish, and we'll test this zone of resistance again. We did that, but it's still in the bullish structure. Your trailing area is 268. As long as you hold above it, all good. Also, I really don't think there is much downside left. This is still the bottom for me. You can have a stop loss below 216 also. I would not too much worry about ARM here. All right. Now, risk management is important, but it has room to go sideways or slowly crawl up. But I don't think it's the short. This was it. You cannot short it anymore. Your probability is just not in the favor to the short anymore. There are times to take trades of certain type. I tell you that then that's the time to do it, and now it's not the time to short it. All right, it's been bullish from here on when I told you. Intel a little bit trying to stabilize at $100 zones, and as it can do it above that, definitely it's turning around the direction. If any time it starts to slip below 97.70, since excuse me, sorry, since we have seen a stabilization at $100, you have to pick a zone below that is 98 around, and so as we hold above it, all good still. All right. Broadcom still is bullish. Yeah, it's TSM, Broadcom. They are same family style of stocks. They are very slow movers. So it's more for people who just want to park their money in blue chips regardless of what they do. Okay, so if you're that type of a trader, if you just like, hey, just put it in the company that may not do much, but you know, money may preserve itself over the course of 10 years, 20 years, and just dollar cost average through these, then these are your Broadcoms and TSMs and all of that. But anyways, it is bullish above 405, been bullish above that. That's what I have told you previously, and that's what is still the case. TSM, it's still the bottom on this thing. It's still technically in the upside trade, just like Broadcom though. It may go sideways, but it's not no longer a short here. It's just mostly either a slow crawl up or sideways action. Marvel is still also bullish. This is the bottom I gave you, and we have been still continuing up. Marvel is doing, yes, excuse me, this is the zone it was supposed to reject at. It is reacting there, but it is holding a bottom significant level, and thus we remain in the bullish structure still. And let's see, eventually as it gets above this, we continue to the next zone of $250. And so this has been the bottom I called out here, and is still in your upside direction. Cerebrus is also, well, it's still technically bullish, guys. So the position, just hold 160 above, we are fine. It gave opportunities to buy again technically if you are doing Cerebrus, and this has been just fine. Our DRAM guys made a lot of updates to my positions today. Look, DRAM, the time I started this portfolio, all right, since then, 21st of July, stock price is down 15% almost, but our portfolio is in green. How come? Well, become a member. Check out my DRAM portfolio. Details are in the description of this video, and you need to trade like an institution. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm teaching my members. They are watching all my real-time alerts on the trades. They have access to the spreadsheet for the full rounded picture to catch up if they want to. Don't delay your improvement of situations. Learn. You don't really, you know what? You got to think for yourself, okay? That's where I'm leaving it at. And that's all I had for you in this video. With that, I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.